This city has been attacked by very dangerous monsters, who have no eyes, but their hearing powers are so high, that if you make even the slightest sound, they will reach out and kill you. These monsters are everywhere. Then one day a deaf-mute girl creates a device to fight them. After this device is made, will these people be able to face these monsters or not? Let's go to the detailed explanation of the movie. The film begins with a man named Abbott who parks his car outside a store and goes inside to do some shopping, while his eyes fall on the TV, where there is a scene of chaos in different cities. The shopkeeper suggests that a bomb may have gone off, but Abbott ignores it and drives to a nearby baseball field. Abbott's wife and 2 children were already there, where his son's very important match was taking place. Here Abbott meets a man named Emmett and he starts asking him about the situation. It turns out that one of Abbott's daughters, Reagan, is deaf-mute. Soon Abbott's son Marcus is on the pitch to play. Evelyn is anchoring him to play confidently. Meanwhile, a huge spaceship is seen crashing in the sky. Everyone gets scared and starts running from there. While sitting in the car, Abbott notices a police officer and goes to ask him about the falling spaceship. At the same time, a monster with long legs like a spider comes and hits the car. Abbott gets scared and runs away to his car. He tries to start it, but the car won't start. They both hide in a restaurant to escape from the monster. A similar monster suddenly appears in front of Evelyn. She drives away to avoid the monster. Suddenly, a bus is coming towards her out of control. A monster comes out of his front window and jumps on his car. Reagan, Abbott, and many others hiding in the restaurant. He tells all these people to be quiet. Here we find out that these monsters have no eyes, but their hearing power is very high, and with that they attack people. Suddenly a girl's phone rings. Monster attacks them and kills everyone except the father and daughter, who escaped through the back door. But the monster was still coming behind them. A police officer fired at him from the front, but the bullet had no effect on the monster and he killed the police officer. In the next scene, 474 days have passed since the monster attack. Evelyn is still alive with her 2 children and a toddler. They go to a house in search of food where Reagan finds a radio and some electronic devices and takes them with her. In the evening, Reagan climbs to a high place and looks at the map to highlight some points, after which they all leave, walking very slowly with bare feet because the monsters could be anywhere. And when the sound is made, they attack. As they walk, they all reach an old train station where suddenly Evelyn's foot hits a wire, with which a sound is made from the glass bottle hanging there. All these people flee from there. Meanwhile, we see that someone is aiming at them from a distance. Marcus's foot gets caught in an animal trap, and he starts crying because of pain, and the little baby starts crying too. Evelyn is trying to silence them both while the monster hears the sound and comes close enough to attack them. Reagan turns on the radio and puts her listening device on him, which creates a strange distortion sound that causes the monster to jam on him. Evelyn shoots him with a gun and they all run away, because after hearing the sound of gunshot, more monsters were coming to attack them. Suddenly a man appears and puts his hand over their mouths and tells them to follow him. At the same time, we see many monsters who were trying to sense their presence, which these people run away with great difficulty and finally fall into the bunker and their lives are saved. At the bunker, man tells Evelyn that he can't keep them here for long, because he has very little oxygen and food. Evelyn looks at the man with a very disappointed look and opens the door of a box containing a small child, which melts the man's heart. This man was none other than Abbott's friend who we see at the baseball field at the beginning of the film. His name is Emmett. He takes them all to another room where there are some medicines and food. Evelyn takes the medicine from him and puts it on Marcus's feet and they start talking. Evelyn asks Emmett about her husband and he says that he saw him die in front of me. In the same words, we learn that Emmett's daughter and wife are also dead and he is now alone in the world. Suddenly a song starts playing on the radio, which Evelyn is very surprised and happy to hear because it meant there are still people alive. Emmett tells that this song plays every day. Evelyn tells Emmett that we have to find that place, but Emmett doesn't agree, and tells that everything is over, and asks them to leave here tomorrow. In the next scene, Reagan tells Marcus that she has found out where the song is playing. She highlights an island on the map. Next day she starts going toward that place, and when Evelyn finds out about it, so she starts begging Emmett to find her somewhere, and he finally agrees to go find her. Reagan was heading towards the sea with her radio and gun. On her way she saw a train. She got on it and started looking around for something useful. Meanwhile, a dead body falls on her, fearing which she screams loudly. Hearing the scream, the monster immediately arrives and moves towards her to kill her. Reagan creates a distortion sound through the radio and aims the gun at it, but the target is startled and tries to reload the gun, which jams the chamber. Suddenly Emmett comes there and shoots and kills the monster. After that they both hide inside a house. He tells Reagan that he will stay here until all the monsters are gone. On other side, bunker was running out of oxygen. She explains to Marcus and comes out of the bunker in search of oxygen cylinders and food. Emmett tells Reagan that we will go back to the bunker after a while, but she does not agree and want to go island. She tells Emmett that she can kill all the monsters through the radio station, and after a long conversation, Emmett agrees. Next day they both walk and reach the seashore, where there are many ships. Emmett unties the rope of one of the ships. Evelyn arrives at a store looking for food and medicine, while Marcus comes out of the bunker and starts looking around something to eat and drink. Emmett notices a little girl and starts walking towards her. Little girl puts a necklace made of glass, bottles around her neck and runs away. The clatter of bottles makes a sound. Marcus wanders into a room where he is horrified to see a dead body, and as he runs away, causing the monster to chase after him, Marcus reaches the bunker with difficulty, where this time the monster tries to enter the bunker. On the other side, many people come to the sea and they also grab Reagan. Emmett runs away and jumps into the water by putting a necklace of bottles around a man's neck, along with which many monsters come and start killing everyone. When Evelyn returns to the building, she hears sounds of monsters in the building. She runs inside to find a monster standing in front of the bunker. She holds a gas cylinder next to him and detonates it, causing a huge explosion, but the monster is unaffected by the fire and starts to attack Evelyn. Suddenly water starts pouring out of a water nozzle, which distracts her from the sound, and taking advantage of this, Evelyn runs inside the bunker. After killing everyone, the monster starts coming towards Emmett, but being in the water, he cannot reach him, and that was the reason why the people were safe on the island. They both sat in a boat and reached that island the next day. There they were surprised to see many families who were living happily. On reaching there, they both meet a man named Kevin. He tells Emmett that these people have done well to come here. He explains that when the monsters attacked the city, as soon as the people found out that the monsters couldn't cross the water, everyone wanted to get on the boat and come here. At that time, there were about 12 boats there, but due to the large number of people, fights started there and only 2 boats could reach here, and today is the first time I've seen a man come here since that day. Emmett tells Michael, he came here to help people. For this purpose, little girl has a device that she wants to broadcast to the whole country through radio. Next morning Emmett walks to the shore of the island where he sees a boat. That was the same boat in which he see the monsters last time. He comes to town to tell the people. At the same time, the monsters reach there and start attacking people and killing them. These 3 sit in the car and run towards the radio station. Monster also hangs from the car with them, but because of speeding, Monster falls. The 3 reach the radio station. Michael gives them the keys and starts to go back to his family. Meanwhile, the monster attacks him and kills him. Emmett quietly lets Reagan into the broadcast room and confronts the monster himself. On the other hand, small child and Marcus unconscious from lack of oxygen in the bunker. Then she dares to open the bunker and comes out and with great difficulty takes the medicine and brings it inside. The monster injures Emmett, while on the other hand the monster has also entered the bunker. Meanwhile Reagan puts the device with the radio and turns it on, with which the monsters are jammed in place on both sides. Reagan on one side raises the iron rod while Marcus on the other side raises the gun, and they both kills the monsters. And this is the end of this part.